Hi, good afternoon. Aaj controversial. If you have read the post and if you've come here from LinkedIn or from my Substack, yeah, it's a controversial opinion today. But look what I have. This is the original wok, Chinese made. Don't ask me where I got it from. बहुत लंबी स्टोरी है बट नहीं मैं नहीं गया था चाइना दैट्स द अमेजिंग थिंग मेरे जाए बिना मेरे पास एक चाइनीज वॉक है और आज आई एम गोइंग टू मेक फ्राइड राइस बट बिफोर दैट द कंट्रोवर्शियल ओपिनियन दैट what makes software really succeed? If you think about it, कुछ पिछले लास्ट कुछ ही decades में ये एक सॉफ्टवेयर इंडस्ट्री है. इट्स एन इंडस्ट्री दैट हैज जस्ट कम आउट ऑफ नोवेयर एंड इट्स बिकम अ वेपन नाउ. सॉफ्टवेयर इज अ वेपन. एंड व्हाट क्या है, तो मैं पिछले 15-20 साल से स्टोरीज टेल, 15-20 साल हो गया, हाँ 10 से ज्यादा साल हो गए. And I've been telling stories about software, about technology. I'm very fortunate. I have seen the evolution. Hold on, before you judge me or you judge software, it's brilliant. This is an industry of brilliant people. They are artists. Software is a language, okay, much like math and music. So yes, now you can feel good about yourself if you are from the software industry. But आज बन रहा है fried rice and I will tell you क्या what makes software do so well और क्यों सक्सीड, क्या है इसके पीछे. ये अमेजिंग चीज है यार. ये फिजिक्स भी नहीं फॉलो करता है. समझ रहे हो मैं क्या बोल रहा हूँ? सॉफ्टवेयर डजंट फॉलो रूल्स ऑफ फिजिक्स. So if you're here, please come and say hi today. Yes, impressionable rice. Today I'm making impressionable rice. Fried rice बनाऊंगा मैं. And it's food that has gotten me interesting people. Let's just put it this way. ये मिर्ची ऊपर से तोड़ के लाया मैं. This is a gift from the fishes and the plants upstairs. Much like you. Thank you so much for joining the stream. And the idea is today to make some fried rice. And once a bunch of you have joined in, I will tell you why software has been so successful. Software का क्या है merit? कहाँ से आया? Actually software आया कहाँ से? Hey man, what's up? I have the mentalist with me. So Brian, you would love this. What's happening today? I'm making some fried rice. Yeah. No, I don't know which part of Southeast Asia is it from. This is my version of fried rice. I'm going to put everything in it. But did you read my post, today's controversial opinion? So I've gone on to say I'm a geek and I'll tell you geeks are the most boring people on this planet. Especially software guys. I mean, they're obsessed with their screens. They need a screen. That's the and a tattoo. If you're living in Silicon Valley, anywhere near San Francisco or the Bay Area, you know what I'm talking about. If you smoke, if you're fat, if you're ugly, you're an outcast. This industry is only for the best in class software programmers who have a coffee in their hand and a MacBook in the other. And they can, with a click of a mouse, change the world on the other side. It's a phenomenal power. But if you think about it, software is really winning now. It is actually a super weapon. So think about it. What makes it so powerful? There's going to be lots of garlic today. I love garlic. Yeah, but what makes software so powerful? There are two things. I'll tell you. There are two things. First, as with every project, a sharp knife. Abe Lincoln was told, I have told you this. So he said 4 out of 5 hours he wants to spend sharpening the blade, which is really quite profound now that you think about it. You're studying networking, cybersecurity. Who is teaching you? ChatGPT is teaching you? Or is there a human that's teaching you? Answer this question of mine, then I'm going to start making fun of this. No, I'm just pulling your leg. There's nothing to make fun. Learning is always good. I come from a time when the concept of cybersecurity. Oh God, what makes Larry Ellison the richest man today? You know this, right? He just broke something like 100 million, 100 billion, I found some stupid number. He's like overshot everybody. What makes databases so powerful? Have you thought about this? What makes data so powerful? It's quite simple, bro. Banks used to use this. The fact that you can't steal that data makes it very valuable. Yeah, I know. I'm so sorry. There's so much I want to share and tell, but I am pretty sure my channel is going to get banned because I would come off as anti-tech. I'm not anti-tech. I'm a geek myself. But there are two parameters, two aspects of software that make it really awesome. Let a few more people join in, and then I'll tell you. Okay, I'll lead you onto it. Why don't you take a guess? The first one, oh man. So ketamine is, hey, give them a break, man. These guys are on their screen all the time. There was a time when there was an era where the similar mindset people would be tripping on acid. So and that's not too far back. These guys are lit people, bro. I'm telling you, these guys are just they're something of the way they look at the world. And you know, I've been telling their stories. That's what I used to get paid for. My guys who used to hire me, they would hire me to tell software stories. They would be building software and they would hire me to tell their stories. And I am telling you, these guys are brilliant. Their way of thinking, their approach to life is brilliant. And I never really understood what makes software such a powerful thing in this world. Oh, I'll tell you where this came from. Do you think software is engineering? You understand my question? Do you think software is engineering? I don't think it's engineering. That's pretty controversial. Hi, if you're here, please just chat and say hi so I know you're here. The controversial opinion today, software is not engineering. Because engineering is you're working within the confines of physics, biology, chemistry, mathematics for measurement. But you're constrained under these, and that's how. So you've got to build a bridge that's going to take a certain load. You've got to make a wire that's going to carry a certain current. Um, you understand what I'm saying? You're constrained, but software, it doesn't have bearings. It doesn't have ball bearings. It doesn't need to stop. Cool. Engineering and art form. Yeah, I bingo. You're right. Software is actually so the engineering part is misunderstood because we've been so conditioned to believe that engineering is only about the physics. The idea behind physics is changing. You know what NVIDIA is up to, right? 900 times faster than the fastest we have right now. That's pretty dramatic. That's a large number. So if our personal devices can do this, if you're not on my Substack yet, Brian, please come and join that Substack. It's Masterbrain. Look for Masterbrain. Just maybe ping me. I'll add you to it. But Masterbrain is where today morning's post is all about this. Very soon, what's going to happen? I told you about Spotify. You know this. LA is buzzing with this information. Spotify, their top artist this month or last 6 months or 3 months or whatever, is an AI based, is an artificial intelligence. It's a software, it's a machine. Now that's pretty cool, but what's really not cool is Spotify users are now asking, why do we really need to pay you? And they are fair, right? I mean, I would want to hear a human play that music. And if you're getting a machine to play it, that's a calculator. What they're not understanding is that they are the ones who put them on the top, didn't they? It's the human condition. Nobody wants to watch robots play football. It's pathetic. Have you seen them? I'm sure you've seen the videos. It is just very funny. And I have been following the Atlas journey. All right. So I have some sense of where robots are coming from. I am an engineer myself, man. That's the part that that's how I connect to this world. I have had a fortune of studying electronics, the electrical atomics of electricity. The platform is pushing it to yeah, I know. See, you've got to think of it like a capitalist. Capitalism is a wrong example because every entrepreneur, all the rich guys, they will give their money back to society. The Wayne Foundation, the Batman. These are all, you think these characters are coming out from some comic that came from outer space? No. These guys are real. These guys are built on characters that we meet every day. You know this, right? Bill Gates owns the largest farmland in North America. What is he going to do with it? What would anybody do with it? He's he has been well. He's been in the thick of controversy for a lot of reasons, and well, obviously, making money is. I'll give you a fantastic perspective. So there's this person that I'm following on Instagram. She and her husband, they run a homestead where they grow food, and one of the food items that they grow are rabbits. Bugs Bunny, yeah, rabbits. And obviously, she shows off her rabbits and then shows off the meat immediately afterwards. And people are like, "Hey, how you are cruel, you animal hater." And she's like, "Listen, when you kill chicken, you don't really think too much about it. They take more space, they eat more food, they dirty the place more. Rabbits are way better." So she started branding them and calling them meat rats. Smart, I would say. And it's been going on for some time, and I think she's got a point. They're damn cute, no doubt about it. So there is some emotional angle there, but they're being grown for food. So, and people are the vegan movement, bro. Are you a vegan, Brian? Are you a vegan? That's a good question. He is an interesting case. Oh yeah, man. We're talking about Bill Gates, right? I don't know where is he heading with all that information that he has. There's another lady on Instagram or YouTube, man. She's another big exposer of. She's she finishes off. She's got this 30-second reel, and then she'll finish off with, "Anyway, that's my cue, and this is my driver," and she whacks a golf ball on the fairway. That's how she ends her. And she'll come up with these weird things, man. I didn't know. So one of the things that she came up with was NASA, NASA, yeah, the space agency. In Israel, in Hebrew, it means to deceive. And I'm like, what are you saying? They won't do this. Nobody will make this so obvious. Yeah, it doesn't mean. When I asked ChatGPT very categorically told me, no, it doesn't mean. Repeated itself a couple of times and kind of made sure that I don't carry on that path. I don't know. You do the math. You're the mentalist. You've done the card games right. You know those 50 cards that each one of them wants to put together. You gotta give it to me. My memory is pretty coolant. That's because of this product that I eat, man. I'm telling you, neural signaling. I've been studying about memory, how it forms, how it doesn't form. Wait, I've got the software stories. I'm actually waiting for a bunch of software nerds to show up. There are a few of these fellows who, obviously, it's all out there, mate. It's a balance of yes and no, right? Okay, so let me start this. Let me share what it is all about. Assume you got to climb, you got to get a fruit. You're a chimpanzee, you're a monkey. You need to get that fruit. So you can see the fruit. You're at the base of the tree. You can see the fruit. It's about 25 feet up, but there's no way to get up. So you got to climb up the tree and find the branch and then go laterally and get the fruit. Cool? The way you would train a robot is exactly how that's called point to task. So each task is broken down into as the detail as possible, and then you will carry on doing each of them up to a point where there is no scope for error. So it comes down to a yes or a no. I'll explain with an easier example. You have an apple, I have an apple. The machine can only answer in a yes or no. I ask the machine, do our apples total 4? No. Do our apples total 3? No. Do our apples total 2? Yes. So your and my apples, they total 2. You don't have to give the credit to the machine. The information is already out there. That's what ChatGPT is. It's an information storehouse that's being accessed through a syntax. You were already doing this through various other coding platforms, but now you're doing it. There's philosophy involved, man. Yeah, software. That's why physicists are all taking a bow, and they tried doing this in CERN. They've tried doing. You've heard of Howard Stern? Oh no, wait, no. His name is bro. That's the guy who came up with this theory. In nature, 1 into 1 is never 1. When you multiply 1 with 1, you never get 1. But in mathematics, his name is Howard. Man, what's his name? He's an actor. He's now outcast completely. Nobody wants to give him any work. He came up with this. He came on the Joe Rogan podcast, and so Joe's telling him, if you are right, you're going to get a lot of people upset. And he says, yeah, I know. He's a soft-spoken actor. Which movie? I don't know. But so there is a change coming. The change is this. Very soon we will know about aliens. I'm just bored. I'm not mad. I'm somewhere there in the vicinity. Genius has that. Little conceited. No, I'm just joking. Genius also has a lot of self-doubt, bro. And I don't have any doubts. I am pretty confident and assured, certain in some ways. Tell me more about your game. I am very keen to learn about the psychology of this. When I was a kid growing up, I did have these. I'm not vegan. I try to avoid red meat because factory farming in the States is not humane. Yeah, that I agree with you. That's the part. You got to keep your animals happy. If you want to harvest them, harvest anything. You got to harvest your food. You kill it or grow it. And you're right. That's the part which is missing. See, when I started doing aquaponics on a rooftop, you got to hear this. India is. We are a bunch of very smart people, as I'm sure you know. We don't just fight about the Scoville heat units. Sorry, I missed that. I saw the chat later, so I kind of joined the dots. Yeah, we take pride in the chili we eat. Sure, we are very intelligent in that sense. We love the software we write. But there's one thing that we are not pretty good at is risks. There is a food risk involved. Let me go back to the example of the machine that we are programming that is going to go up the tree to fetch the food, that fruit that's growing on the ledge, right? So you reached up to the ledge that's 20 feet up on the main trunk, and now you got to turn right because you got to walk over a ledge to the fruit. There's nothing to hang on. So this is an altogether brand new task. You got to balance and walk across, and you got to keep sensing at every stage whether the trunk is going to break or not. Fair enough, you with me? This is a whole new programming that needs to be done for the same chimp to get to the fruit. But there is a catch here, which is a wonderful thing that nature has programmed into us. Pause at this point in time. There's a decision that this chimp has to take, whether the food is worthy of the risk or not. It's something which carnivorous animals do all the time. They can't afford to expend all their energy behind it. They miss a lot of their prey, and that's actually why they die. Because the energy keeps depleting, and they'll reach a point when they can just barely not even move, and nobody's going to feed them. So they'll die. Most lions in their old age will die this way. Nature's brutal. It's unfortunate we humans have moved so far out from what's mainstream way of living. It's not way of living, it's just life. That's what this planet is. We are not. We are eternal beings. We are the ones who are. So that's how math came about. It's a language. It's to communicate measurements. I want others to help me build the bridge. How do I do that? So we communicate. Music is a similar thing. The credit is given to the British for coming up with this idea of music theory. I don't know if it's necessarily the Brits, but somewhere in Europe maybe. But I don't think it comes from there. Music is 7 frequencies. That's it. These are the 7 main notes. That's it. Everything else is derived from this. And funnily, the number 7 is also the 7 days of the week, 7 colors of the rainbow, and 28 into 7. You know the number of days in the calendar? Yes. I've been reading philosophy. I've been reading a lot of this stuff recently, and it all kind of joins up together. So that's the first part of the 2 reasons that make software so good, so successful. The first, it has, the makers have brought it down to an ability to just say yes and no. So there's no argument. You can't go wrong. You're getting what I'm saying? Everything is always right. You will notice this in Chat GPT. When you ask it something, it just tries to patronize you. It's not doing that because they've programmed this into that. It's that's the way software works. It contours to what you are asking it to do. The compilers don't know why your code is wrong. They just know it's wrong. That's kind of really stupid, isn't it? If you know, it's like an antivirus telling me hackers know where you are. And I'm like, if you know where they are, why don't you just stop them? Yeah, yeah, it's percussion. You're right. They're sounds, but again, the idea of music is for the perceiver, the listener. It's like color. I just recently came to know that apparently some earthworm or some squid or some bloody sea creature has 3 times the number of color receptors. And I'm like, how did you test this? Science is a little bit of a misnomer. Anywho, we are ready to start cooking. Wait, I've not chopped my carrots. The carrots are missing. I'm making rice. I'm just going to take some leftover rice from yesterday and I'm going to fry some onions, some eggs. There's going to be capsicum, carrots, and a host lot of stuff. Hopefully, it should be fun. Lost the blade, guts the blade. You know what's kerf? Kerf. Brian, have you heard of this thing called kerf? For the rest of you, if you're here, please hi, come and just say hi so I know you've joined in. Then we can chat. Brian, question for you. Have you heard of what's kerf? Kerf. Yeah, look it up. It's stuff that gets left over between the sawmill, the saw blade. Yeah, it's part of the wood that will get left over. It sticks to the blade for a variety of reasons. The wood has lignin in it, so when the blade passes through it, some of the wood, the lignin might melt or it'll just stick to the blade. But the point is that there's a gap between the blade and the edge, which is where the wood gets eaten up at the microscopic level. And when the kerf collects, it makes that whole one homogeneous piece and there's no more cutting happening. So that part of physics is missed. You can, that's what you need to do. That's called honing. Yeah, that's the part. Kerf, 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 kerf. That's the correct word for it. Yesterday I cut these things like this and it was brilliant. They tasted very good. This is chili, right? This is not capsicum. And I will chop these back again. They look pretty cool. You gotta say, have a look at it. This looks, see this. Whoa, sorry about that. I was trying to be, look, they look all neat and not my way of doing things in life, trust me. No, I'm not that well organized. Would love to be. What about you? Are you a well organized person? Have you become a well organized person? You know, those people who underline stuff in their notebooks, write date tags, force others to write date tags. Looney Tunes, bro. Who's your favorite when it comes to Looney Tunes? Who's your favorite? Sylvester? Sylvester? This carrot's kind of gone limp. Poor fellow. He's really gone limp, bro. I mean, he's like refusing to slice. I spent the first, what, 25 minutes. I've been slicing this for 25, and I've already been cooking, right? 20-30 minutes before that. I had to kind of stir fry the mushrooms and the broccoli and roadrunner. Oh, all right. Interesting. So mine's favorite is Daffy. Daffy, Sylvester, Bugs Bunny, yeah, maybe. I mean, I'm fond of the fact that he takes the piggy for a ride all the time. But when I was growing up as a kid, so Netflix now has this whole new season. Some guy called Weminsky or something, I forget his name, Russian name. He's making this all over again. The voiceovers are brilliant, bro. It's almost like the original guys, all of them. Very nice. I don't know if they are the original though, but it's really cool, very nice, and it's got. So of all of them, Daffy is the one who has the personality. You've seen Two and a Half Men, haven't you? You when you see Daffy in action, it'll feel like Chuck Lorre's character. Oh, this carrot is very tasty. I think I should start cooking now because it's 25 minutes. I have a 30-second hard stop. And my brain's like, okay, we are raising ghrelin now, pushing on the ghrelin lever. And the ghrelin is all like building up. And I'm like, where's the food, bitch? I need to eat now. That's how the brain works. Food takes over priority, and what you were doing will just suddenly go out of the window. You will just have to eat. It's a phenomenal concept, yes, I know, and it is not exactly it's probably not the smartest survival strategy, but hey, nature is funny that way. I'm all set. Shall we get into it? Something which I always start with when I'm making fried rice in this format, eggs. So I'm not using meat today, no chicken. So I'll just use like 4 eggs. 4 eggs. Free range. That's the word. Have you heard this word? Free range eggs. Yeah. I don't know what that means, but apparently what it means is that the chicken got a chance to run around free on a farm and laid their eggs wherever they could. And then the farmer went hopping, collecting all those eggs and giving it to me for dirt price. How and why would that ever happen? I had an argument once with a lady who was selling, let me get this right, deep forest scavenged deer antlers. You heard me? Deep forest scavenged deer antlers. That was the pitch. And I told her, I said, listen, I appreciate you selling some stuff, good stuff. I'm sure you care about the planet. But tell me something, who are these wonderful people who went scavenging for a deer antler? And these, by the way, these are naturally dropped deer antlers, which these deers will drop. You can't catch them on camera dropping their antlers, and you're telling me there's people who are going to be going behind them, spend their entire lives in a small cage. Oh yeah, as in you mean free range. The chicken, man, do you think they're really going to know the difference? Do you think animals have feelings? That's the part of the vegan movement which I appreciate. But then I'm like, why do you eat plucked fruits then? Don't you feel something wrong there? Just because the animal will cry, make noise about it. Double standards. I say eat everything. Just don't eat the human, because humans are toxic. That's why probably we don't eat humans. Alright, time to get started. Wow. This is on. Let's see how hot can this get. This is a wok. You know what's a wok? It's this Chinese utensil that kind of takes up so much space. This is a small fellow. There are much bigger ones. And this is kind of shallow. So they spend a lot of time chopping. That's what I understand. China is closer to me than you. But you are on the LA coast, so all you've got to do is swim over to China. I've got to climb the hills. Alright, so let's get started. So first things first, I'm going to fry some garlic. You can focus on the camera. See what I'm going to do. Alright, I have peanut. You remember, were you there when I made this out of the peanut residue, the peanut oil residue? Were you around? Okay, so that's what I'm going to use again. All right, but I'm going to use peanut oil first. That's going to burn some of my garlic. Okay, I'm going to burn it. Yes, this has to be completely charred. Then I'm going to add some onion. Check this out, bro. Have you ever seen such a thing? You use this to whack people when they get out of hand. Yeah, it's a special tool made in India. I'll send it for you if you want. It's very effective. So you can see what I've done. I've burnt the garlic a bit, right? A bit, well, quite a bit, and then we're gonna throw in the egg. Apparently, I learned this recently that everybody makes fried rice, egg fried rice, their own way. It's like it's one of those things that's really unique to everybody who cooks. Right? I don't know if you do. You know what's chai, Brian? Do you know what's chai? Have you heard of this thing called chai? I'm sure you have, bro. There are. Oh, chai is now a global word. A lot of people know about chai. You have you have tea. The funny thing is, everybody who makes tea, it comes out differently. Man, that's rhyming poetically. It is one of those key things in food because your energies are going over. It's growing food, cooking food, serving food, all of it matters. It's everything is a touch point. That's why the Japs, they'll make it and then they'll serve it. You eat it right there. It's a communication from me to you. What's your Substack? Oh, yeah, my Substack is Master Brain. I almost feel so embarrassed while saying this. It's MASTUR, Master, BRAIN. Master Brian. So it's a. I'll share it with you. If you just ping me, I'll share it with you. So I'm gonna get this omelette-like thing going on. These are spring onions from my rooftop. That's why I don't need too much. They're like so much. The flavor just bursts straight out. That's the thing with good food. The flavor is the hallucination that's happening, and that's coming from the plants. They're the ones who are communicating with the guy, with the human. And then that's getting passed straight down the line. And that's why you probably don't eat meat, because you have that thing that food is being grown in inhumane conditions. And that's unfortunately true. That's what hydroponics comes from there. Yeah. It is the most unnatural way of growing food. They were growing cannabis under the ground. So hydroponics it's unfortunate, but yeah, let's not get there. I know agriculture has such absurd stories I have begun to detest. I just don't want to get into it, bro. It makes no sense to try to discuss stuff that's beyond our control. So the day I can control impact, have some influence, maybe I will have. I have for horror stories of how I've been treated. I'm not expecting anybody to treat me like with a lot of value, but hey, listen, pause and hear me out. And you are the director of the top agriculture education in India. So, well, science, you know what makes science truly a hero? It used to be. There used to be a time when science would stand up and say, I don't know, but I want to find out. Like a child, I'm really curious. So can any one of you give me some information so I can go on? This was what science was in the classroom. And now science is, listen, all of you shut up. I'm right and I'm the only one right. All of you idiots, you don't know those are not shapes in the clouds. We are desperate, and unfortunately humanity has fallen victim to this trap. I think we will recover from it. I am pretty confident next couple of years will be amazing for all of us, because all the problems that we have created for ourselves will begin to disappear. There you go. That's getting nicely charred. I really love charring stuff. I'm doing this for the first time on the induction heat. I've never used this wok on an induction heat. That's why the temperature is a little low, but hey, it's working brilliantly. And it's smelling beautiful. Gorgeous is the word. See the rice? I've like made rice for an entire village. One day maybe, sure. Would you like to come? Have you been to India yet? Maybe make a trip. Try not to visit, well, to be honest, now even LA is as hot as India, but try not to make an India trip during the summers here. Indian summers will take lives. Yeah, it's just too much. Trust the people, man. We are too hot to handle. I raised the temperature of the thing because this rice was kept in the fridge, so it's cold and it needs to come up to a certain level, a temperature, before I will add the veggies, and then I'll show you what are the sauces that I'm going to add. It's smelling so good. You see these guys who make Chinese food on YouTube and on all these places? While chatting with you, I forgot to add the ginger and the chili. So that's okay. I'll add it now. But ideally speaking, they should hit the oil, the peanut oil. So you know what we'll do? Let's add a secondary layer to this. Yeah. I haven't been out of the US. A trip to India would be good. Please do. I would be honored to point you to places. If things work out, maybe we'll take a trip together. But please do think about this. India is a fascinating country. If you don't mind me asking you, Brian, what's your age? How long have you walked this planet? Okay, this is starting to smell awesome, right? Wow. Let's get to the bottom of this. Look at the sauces I'm going to add today, right? I've got some soy. I'm going to add this chow mein sauce. This is a product in India called Master Chow. It's some bad chemicals. They taste good. I can get away with this because I eat caiben. So my fat saturation levels, they're saturated. So I'm not risking absorption any trans fats. Are you following what I'm saying? I'm going to use some MSG. I'm going to use some salt and pepper and some apple cider. Good apple cider. Top grade apple cider. Right? Okay, this is looking good. Wow. The smells are so good, man. I can't believe this. 32. Oh, that's cool. You worked 3 decades. Let me just get this quickly out of the way. Here's what I'm going to do. This is a little trick. This is a little hack, okay? This is where it gets really interesting. So you dump in your veggies, all of them. I've got less veggies than I would normally have. Okay. I have these brocks that have undergone some roasting. I have some mush that have undergone some roasting. And they will all hit the flame. They get mixed into the rice. And here, see, this is the secret. I'm lending you onto a big secret. You get yourself a cap and you let it steam. Okay. You close this and you catch yourself your bunch of stuff that you need to add. Hang on, I can't see the screen right now. Good morning. Hi Mo, what's up? Look what I'm making today. Where are you from, Mo? Which part of the world are you from? We'll do salt. We will do some. This is the garlic chili that I've been telling you about. This is also a Master Chow product. Yeah, maybe I should ask them, they should pay me. No, no, it's fine. This is just good product, bro. That's how we taste. Food is shared. We always share. This is some soy. This is dark soy, okay? This is the good stuff, heavy stuff. I'm going to add some MSG. And I'm going to add some pepper. And when I will add the cider, then I will close it, okay? And I will allow it to just steam for a few seconds, maybe a half a minute. This is another family pack, as you can see. Yeah, well. And this is apple cider. Use apple cider. Just skip every other type of vinegar, man. And I raise this up high in temperature. Then I'll hit it with this sauce. Toss it all up. I'm so hungry now. I know. Well, that's how it is. It's 20-25 minutes. That's how I can handle. That's how long I can handle. I told you. So that's the first part of what makes software awesome. That they break this down into such small bits that you can't really go wrong. And the second part, don't stop, which you would have noticed. That's the secret. You just carry on one step after the other. And you will reach a point where you look back and you say, whoa, that's... I was told this by a mountaineer, and at that time I didn't understand this, but now it kind of makes a lot more sense. I do relate to this feeling that it's a journey, and that's the fun part of it. You've got to enjoy. All Buddhists, all monks, every one of them keeps saying the same thing, but for some reason it just doesn't. I guess you got to reach a certain stage in your life when the dots join. And for me, this has happened recently when I started writing code. I've always told stories of these brilliant people who write code. I've always made fun of it. Trust me, I've always made fun of engineers, and even though I'm one, and geeks and nerds, I'm one. I take pride in it. We are brilliant, all of us, but we are terribly boring. And yeah, because we see the world in a very linear way. There is the left and right halves of the brain. You know this, right? You're a mentalist, bro. You're halfway there. You saw that smoke that popped out? That's what it is. Ooh, the smells are brilliant. Sorry, man. I am so sorry that I'm focusing on the food and not on you. But you gotta pardon me. I am hungry. I'm hungry as a baby. My ghrelin levels are telling me now, enough. It's time to go get yourself something to eat. This is the sauce that I'm adding, okay? Nice, liberally. Tell me if you get this there. I don't think so. This is a new product still in India, but they're doing very well because they are awesome. We Indians love our food, man. We love food from everywhere. We've taken food from all over the world and made it us. Ooh. The gooiness. That's it. We are done. I'm sorry, I'm going to serve it onto the same plate. I'm short on my cutlery on the roof, on here. Whoa. Let's just take a quick bite and see this. I have a sinking feeling I have underestimated my salt. Check this out. Okay, that's good. Let me get my producer to tell me. Where's Mo? Hey Mo, where are you? Fascinated in human interaction. I spent 20s working in sales, but computers are my real passion, so I'm back in college, adult student. This conversation must have been really cool for you. I hope you picked something up from here, because the problem with ChatGPT, it's not just ChatGPT. It's a problem with all machines. There is a limiting factor. The limiting factor is that bearings get ruined. They have to be replaced. But software doesn't need no break. It doesn't need maternity leave. It doesn't need a cigarette break. But it also doesn't understand valor. It doesn't understand loyalty. It doesn't. For them, honor, discipline. You humans, you decide what it wants. We'll be with you for as long as you want. We'll do what you want. We'll always be there for you. Software is fascinating that way. But the part to software, which has now changed, tell me a joke, and the software tells you a joke, which you're like, oh man, this is so funny. What you don't know is you already knew that joke. I have more stuff for you. See you again. 12:30 tomorrow. Bye-bye. And I got a yes. I got an eye on this. See you, bye.